Hello. Good evening, everyone. We welcome you all to one of the most awaited talks of the year. IIT Bombay has a long lineage of alumni who have contributed significantly to the society, developing better and more efficient technology, working in tandem with the government for better percolation, and engaging with schemes such as NCC and NSS. Quite a few students take this mission to the next level. They make civil services their life's goal and work from ground up to enhance the administrative structure of the nation. I am talking about none other than our alumni in the civil services. On this fine evening, we have gathered here to interact with 3 alumni on the stage. Join me in welcoming them with a huge round of applause. The first speaker in the evening is Mr. Naman Goyal, UPSC Civil Services Examination, All India Rank 30. Naman has completed his BTech from IIT Bombay in the Department of Chemical Engineering. Hailing from Ville Parle East, Naman will go on to join the Indian Administrative Services straight out of the college. Next, I would like to invite Ms. Deepesh Kumari, UPSC Civil Services Examination 2021, All India Rank 93. Deepesh Kumari has completed her Masters from IIT Bombay. She worked at MIDAS IT for a year before finding her calling from the civil services. She is also going to join the Indian Administrative Services out of the college. Finally, we have a veteran civil servant who is also a computer science alumni from IIT Bombay, Mr. Ambrish Kumar. He is an IAS officer and is currently the settlement commissioner and ex officio director, the government of Rajasthan. Besides this, he is also working with various public and private companies such as Isha Outreach as a project director and the Rajasthan Small Industry Corporation Limited as chairman and managing director. He has worked as SDM, municipal commissioner, collector, deputy secretary finance and PD and urban development. Along with them, we have many extraordinary alumni with enormous achievements in civil services. And guess what? You will be getting a chance to interact with them one-to-one, and this is what we call as SAM, the Student Alumni Meet. Now, we will begin with the Q&A session, and I would like to invite today's moderator, Prerna Agarwal, co-team member, Student Alumni Relations Cell, IIT Bombay. Post this discussion, we will be opening the floor for audience questions.
Thank you all for joining us today here and spending your valuable time with us. And heartiest congratulations to you, Naman sir, and to you, Deepesh ma'am, for securing all India ranks 30 and 93 respectively in this year's UPSC examinations. So after listening to your introduction by Anirudh, all the students over here in the audience would be really inquisitive to know about your preparation strategies and how did you manage so well to prepare for the examinations even after the examinations being so rigorous and overwhelming. So I request you all to kindly give some tips to the students who are going to start their preparation now for the UPSC examinations. So I would request, Naman sir, would you like to start?
Hello. Hello everyone, I am Naman. I have secured rank 30 in this year's UPSC Civil Services examination. I graduated in Chemical Engineering BTech 2020 batch and started preparing soon after my graduation, even in my final semester of the graduation. If I remember right, I started preparing in January of 2020. That was pre-COVID time, and I started reading with the NCRTs. I watched a lot of YouTube videos of toppers. So this is one way of starting the preparation. I also remember attending Kanish Kataria sir's session in 2019, in which he, along with Shreyans Kumar sir, they were here at the same podium. And I was so inspired by their success and their desire to become an IAS officer. So that created a spark in me that probably I can also think of joining civil services and maybe become an IAS officer. So that was a moment for me. I am sitting at the same place, feeling very blessed and delighted at the same time. If I talk about my preparation journey, I took around 2 years of preparation to qualify. This was my second attempt. My optional is geography. Some of you might be thinking why I chose geography as an optional, despite having a background in engineering. Firstly, chemical engineering as a subject is not available as an optional subject in civil service examination. Secondly, I found a lot of interest in geography as a subject since my school days. And to pursue that further as an optional subject, I thought that probably I can study geography extensively, and if I find interest in this subject, I'll be able to score good marks. This is one reason. Secondly, geography as a subject also has a large amount of overlap with GS papers. There is good enough guidance available in the market, and this helped me choose this optional for my preparation. I started with studying NCRTs of all the major subjects such as polity, economy, history, geography for preparation in the initial phases, so as to understand what is the basic requirement of this examination and to clear the foundation and prepare my foundational base really well. In the first 2 to 3 months, I covered NCRTs, made notes out of them, and never again touched the NCRTs, just read the notes. After the NCRTs were done, I prepared the standard books. I never joined any foundational course of a coaching institution, and did all of the preparation online from my home because of the COVID phase that was going on. So I prepared everything from my home through the internet resources. And coming to the standard books that I read, I think every topper has the same list of books. You can just Google or find on the YouTube what are the different standard books you have to read, and prepare similarly for prelims and mains. I gave a lot of mock tests for both prelims and mains. For prelims, I gave around 50 mock tests in the 2-month period between 2 months prior to the prelims, and similarly around 15 to 20 mock papers for mains as well. So this was my basic strategy. I think I will discuss in detail when more questions are asked.
Yeah, thank you, Naman sir. And as Naman sir has mentioned that he didn't join any coaching institute and use the study material that was available there online, what are your views, ma'am, related to this, that what students should actually use when they search for the study material for UPSC examinations?
Actually, for UPSC, the syllabus is very defined. It is written in 4 to 5 pages, and it is written topic wise. So what you can do, try to Google that topic. Let us say there is a written NGO in GS1. In GS2 it is written that federalism. In GS3 it is written Indian agriculture. So you can find that, you can search that topic on Google and write UPSC behind that. You will get a write up on that and can read and make notes out of that. On coaching, I wouldn't say that coaching is one thing that without which you can't clear this exam, because Naman has cleared that and many have cleared that. And also, right now the coachings are available online also. I have done that online only because COVID period was there. And I joined a coaching for test series particularly because in this exam you have to check your performance regularly. So for that you can join test series. If you don't want to join and enroll, then also you can find that on many groups like Telegram is there. So there you can find and write papers. Otherwise previous year paper and syllabus, this should be your Bible. Means every topic should be read well. Then you should have write up on that, because if question come on that topic, you can write at least 150 or 250 words. So that should be the strategy.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am, and that's what really important, the strategy and which strategy to follow while preparing for the UPSC, because I think the correct strategy gives the correct results. So, sir, I would like to ask you that you have given the examination almost more than a decade before. So at that time also, did you follow the same strategies for preparing, or like online resources, coaching institutes? And also one more question which I had, as Naman sir had mentioned that he started preparing from the last year of college itself. So how do you think the college life would impact the preparation of UPSC, and also we can include the college time schedule which we have in the college? So can you please tell us something about that?
See, I appeared for exam in 2003. That was 7 years after my graduation. So, how to mix it with college schedule? I think there are people here who are just leaving. You can ask them. Some of them might have done it in their college. So, what she said about looking at the syllabus and past year question paper, I think that strategy has been around for a long time. That is what I had followed. That's what one of my seniors had guided. कि भाई पुराने क्वेश्चन पेपर ले लीजिए, अगर आप उसको घर पे बैठ के सॉल्व कर सकते हो तो देयर इज अ गुड चांस दैट यू विल बी एबल टू सॉल्व देम इन द एग्जाम आल्सो. If you can't solve the question paper sitting at home, there is no chance you will be able to solve it there. So last 10 years question papers, if you sit and solve, there is a very good chance you will make it.
Yeah, exactly. So the basic thing, like the self-study is the most important thing that we can have for this preparation. Okay, so the next thing which I wanted to ask is that, what was your motivation to go for UPSC? Like, when did you think about it? When did that come into your mind? Was it before joining the college, or already, or after the joining the college? And why did you join, why did you decide to go for UPSC preparation? Ma'am, you can answer.
So the motivation for joining UPSC was before college only. It was since my school days. I come from a background where government is in every sector. If you want, as sir also mentioned in previous lecture, that if you need electricity, water, everything, you need government support. So I was also thinking that why shouldn't I be there also? If I can contribute in any way, then that should be my career option. But I couldn't get that confidence while I was in graduation also, because we always used to think that civil servant to alag hi log hote hain. That was the thing. But after coming to this college, IIT Bombay, and then doing 1 year job, I really got the confidence that yes, I also can prepare. So that then I decided to quit my job and do the preparation part.
Okay, yeah. So your motivation was before joining the college itself, and that's really great. So what was your motivation to go for UPSC?
So I had a very different story than Deepesh. I decided only in my final semester that I would prepare for UPSC Civil Services examination. Before that, I had done my internship at the end of 3rd year in a consulting firm. And I realized that the work that I am doing is not impacting the lives of people. I am earning a good amount of money. I am serving some of the clients. But whatever work I am doing, I am not engaging with the public at large. And I am not making a fruitful change in their lives. So this drove me towards exploring civil services as an option. Later I began to explore that what is the role of an IAS officer and what he is doing, or what he or she is responsible for. I realized that probably I'm also good at social sciences. I'll be interested in social service. I did my NSS in my first year, which everybody opts NSS or NSO or NCC. There I taught a few underprivileged children in an NGO, and I realized I liked that a lot. So for all of these reasons, I chose that probably civil services is one thing which will make me satisfied, and which I may have an opportunity to work for the society, for the nation, and make this nation great. So this was the reason why I decided to go for civil services.
Yeah, so we see that college has really made an impact on you and made you go for UPSC.
Definitely.
Ambrish sir, I would like to know, like for many students, the motivation to go for UPSC is the luxuries that it involves, maybe like the vehicles, bungalows, security and many more. You have been in the services since a long time. So what would you tell to the students, like what exactly they get or what exactly they can achieve after becoming a civil servant apart from these things?
See, fundamentally, civil services, it's the CEO cadre of the government. So, if you want to get into top management positions, then civil services gives you that opportunity, no matter which service you go into. You know, IAS, IPS, IRTS, whatever service it is, you are in key decision-making positions from a very early stage in your career, and you rise very fast in the service. So if you were to have similar experience in private sector, it will take much longer for you to go up the corporate ladder and reach a position of decision making than in the government. So because you are doing this competitive exam, the way the system is structured, from day one they trust you with large responsibilities, and the responsibilities keep getting larger and larger as you progress in the career. So this is one significant difference. See, about the luxuries and all, I think you can get more luxuries if you go to finance. I think you will earn much higher salary. After 2004, so it's 18 years now. After 18 years, my gross salary is about 2 lakh rupees a month. I think finance में शायद starting salary से ज़्यादा होगा ना? 5 लाख रुपए महीना होगा starting salary? है ना? तो so in terms of luxuries, I think in government, if you are not going to take bribes, if you are not going to take commissions and cuts, then you have just about enough to meet your expenses. So I mean, the luxury in the sense that the biggest luxury is the trust that the society places in you. Okay, that the corporate guys will not have, that the finance guy will not have. But you occupy this responsible position where a lot of people look up to you for taking a leadership position and solving things for them. I mean, that is the biggest luxury that you have. And about vehicles and all, I think in government, your vehicle will not go beyond an Innova. Okay, that's the highest luxury you can hope to have, unless you become, even the chief secretary doesn't have bigger vehicle than an Innova. So if you're looking for a BMW or a Mercedes, you are not going to get it in the government. So, I mean, compared to the private sector opportunities, the luxury is not that much, right? I mean, the bungalows that you get to live in will be like your old hostelate, है ना, वहाँ थोड़ा छत टपकता है और वो सब. You have to constantly get those things repaired and upgraded. I mean, every house that I've gone to, first 3 months I spent repairing the house and then I live in it. So, in that sense, I think the luxuries are overrated. And the kind of responsibility, see, you can find an IAS, IPS officer's mobile number on the internet. Okay, try finding the mobile number of your, sales head of Reliance on the, or sales head of, let's say, Indigo Airlines. Please find his phone number, sales head of Maharashtra Indigo Airlines. You won't find it. All those people will hide behind one email address. Okay, whereas government, everybody from the chief secretary down to your sub-divisional magistrate, everybody's number is available. And you do get calls from all kinds of people at all kinds of times. So it's a huge, it's a very, very different arena in that sense, that you get to interact with people from all walks of life. That's a very big luxury. See, today, if I can go to any place in India, from the Prime Minister's office to any Chief Minister's office to any officer's office, and to any corporate, everybody will open their door and welcome me. Okay, that's the privilege which the service gives me. It's not my doing. It's the privilege which the service gives me, that all doors anywhere can open for you. If you have something reasonable to say, everybody will give you 5 minutes to hear it. Right? You want an appointment with the union minister for fertilizer. You want them with the railway minister. He'll give you an appointment. If you're an IAS officer, IPS officer, you ask for an appointment, they will give it to you. You have something sensible to say, you can go and say it. You don't have to go on the website, contact us column and leave a note for them. If you really have a bright idea, you can go and tell them. And they are willing to listen to you. And if you have a reputation for delivery, they are willing to hire you in any position in the government. So I think these are the luxuries that the service gives.
Yeah, exactly. So these are the luxuries, these are the responsibilities and the decision making that the students can get after they join the civil services. So my next question would be like a day in a life of an aspirant. When aspirant studies for UPSC, there is a big change in the pattern which he follows when he was in college and after he started preparing for the UPSC. So ma'am, you can explain this. What was the change that you brought in your daily routine maybe for preparing for this tough examination and such a vast syllabus that it offers for the students?
Seriously, I don't want to remember that change. That was very painful. In Insti, I was sleeping at 2 or 3 and waking up at 10 o'clock, then going to canteen, have some food and then again sleeping and then walking around with friends. But in civil services preparation, everything has to be planned by yesterday only. There shouldn't be any uncertainty in preparation. It was कि कोई अगर नया इंसिडेंट आ गया एकदम से माइंड चेंज हो जाएगा एंड देन योर 2 or 3 hours हैज गॉन. फिर आप जो गिल्ट में जियोगे कि यार 2 घंटे 3 घंटे वेस्ट कर दिया, आज का न्यूज़पेपर रह गया, आज का ये टेस्ट लिखना बाकी रह गया, दैट इज वेरी बैड. सो यू हैव टू मेक चेंजेस व्हाइल यू आर preparing. First, your mind should be at peace. Means it shouldn't be disturbed. आपके सामने challenges and problems आएंगी, but you should be at peace कि यार हो जाएगा सब. I shouldn't be worried, much worried. मुझे अपनी focused preparation करनी है. I'll do that. And फिर बाकी सारी चीजें साथ में चलती रहेंगी. That is one thing कि आपको mental peace होना जरूरी है. And second is confidence. In this preparation, I have faced this. I don't know how many other selected candidates also face. कि every day you get self doubt कि यार I am sitting with an IITian guy who has rank 5 in JEE. How will I compete with him or her? These self doubts are always there. तो आपको उनको भी cater करना है. And then lifestyle changes. One, आपकी जो outings होती हैं वो almost nil हो जाती हैं. आप 7 days में 1 घंटे का break लेते हैं, वो भी उसमें भी ईयरफोन डाल के कुछ करंट अफेयर सुनने की कोशिश करते हैं. दैट वाज द लाइफ. सेकंड इज की डाइट, जो खाना पीना है, यू कांट हैव इरेगुलर फूड, क्योंकि अगर कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गई देन योर 2 or 3 डे विल बी वेस्टेड. सो दैट ऑल्सो. स्लीप शुड बी प्रॉपर, इट शुड बी रेगुलर. एंड समटाइम्स नियर टू एग्जाम लाइक प्रीलिम्स मेंस आपको फिर वो नाइट हैबिट्स भी चेंज करनी पड़ती हैं, बिकॉज 9 to 12 और 2 to 5 वाला जो एग्जाम मोड है दैट शुड बी वेरी एक्टिव. तो वो एक रहना चाहिए. फोर्थ ये था, इंजीनियर्स को ज़्यादातर आंसर राइटिंग में थोड़ी प्रॉब्लम आती है, तो वो एक इलाबोरेटिव आंसर लिखना है विद पैराग्राफ्स एंड ऑल, वो भी थोड़ा सीखना पड़ता है. तो सो दीज आर द चेंजेस. अदरवाइज एज एन एस्पिरेंट आई enjoyed a lot because you get to know many things worldwide. मुझे ही नहीं पता था कि हमारी गवर्नमेंट इतनी अच्छी स्कीम्स चला रही है. So that you get to know कि how sensitive is government is toward, especially toward underprivileged sections like women, transgender etc. उनके लिए कितना हमारा सरकार करती है वो हमें वहाँ से पता चलता है. Then you also get to know about diversity कि किस सेक्शन के लोग सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी करने आते हैं. सो दिस इज अ ब्यूटीफुल जर्नी, वेरी लर्निंग एक्सपीरियंस. You get the maturity as well as the confidence and also the patriotic feelings that yes, now you have got some position where you can contribute something. So that is a very nice thing, I would say. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So while preparing for the examination, yeah, it is a bit difficult in the start, but later we realize that how important it is and how much we can learn from that preparation. So Naman sir, was it the same for you when you started preparing along with your college, that in the start you faced some problems in changing your schedule? And what all did you try to do for managing your time?
Deepesh has very holistically covered this. Most of the aspirants, they face the same challenges and they have to adjust themselves to the similar schedule. While I was preparing for UPSC in my college, it was only for 2 initial months. I devoted around 4 to 5 hours of study for civil services and remaining would go to academics of the institute. After the graduation, during the COVID period, since I did online preparation from home, I studied around 10 to 12 hours every day. So what is very important is to maintain consistency during your preparation. One should avoid studying for 16 hours one day and then 4 hours for another day. One should have 8 to 12 hours of study almost each and every day, so that there is not a sense of burnout or fatigue while you prepare. Secondly, as Deepesh mentioned, if you have to pursue this examination, you might have to prepare for many years to come. And for this, mental health and physical health is very, very important. And for this, I ensure that for every day, half an hour, I'll run an exercise. This will ensure that my mental health is well maintained and my physical health is also proper, so that I don't feel ill or any health issues. You have to cut off from social media sites because a lot of them, they tend to waste your time or engage you in unproductive things. So I never opened my Facebook for the last 2 years and I haven't still opened it. I made the Instagram account after the results. I didn't have any Instagram account. WhatsApp and Telegram were the only sources in which you get some information regarding civil services preparation. So that was active. And even your friends, which you would have in your college, you would probably cut off from them for a long time. Because if you engage with your friends or you do your trip outs or dinners, lunches, all of these things, then probably it will waste your time. So I just talked to 1 or 2 friends, those who were really close and who really motivated me throughout the journey. But apart from that, you have to cut off from ceremonies or family events because they tend to take your precious time. But this does not mean that you have to completely isolate yourself during the preparation. You have to be somewhat social. You have to talk to your family, some of your friends, some of your relatives who you find comfortable with. And this will help you to have a better mindset while preparing. So these were my thoughts with respect to preparation.
Yeah, so it is very important to take care of the health at the same time, and yes, to prioritize our things, that is to prioritize our UPSC studies above like moving out with friends at the same time. So I think many students will try to incorporate this in their daily routine when they are preparing for the examinations. So sir, I would just like to ask, after hearing the daily routines of both sir and ma'am, do you observe any changes in the daily routine that you had followed and the aspirants that follow now?
When I prepared, I did 2 optional subjects, physics and chemistry. So it was the equivalent of doing a bachelor's level honors course in physics and chemistry, plus general studies. And I prepared for about 6.5 months totally. And from April 1st to 18th October, when my last main exam was there. And what, for me, the significant difference between JEE preparation and IAS preparation was, in JEE preparation, I had a lot of stress. Like, you know, what she was saying, every few days I'll wonder, kya hoga? Par hoga? Nahi hoga, nahi hoga. Right? But, and I developed a backache during the JEE preparation because every day 10 hours for 1 whole year I sat and prepared. And I didn't do anything in class 11. तो 11th और 12th दोनों का syllabus मैंने 1 साल में किया था 12th में बैठ के. तो 11th में that Mandal Commission thing was there in those days, so nothing much happened in our college. But in IAS preparation, by that time I had started doing yoga. So I would first 2 hours in the morning, 1 hour asanas, 1 hour pranayam. I will do from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. 10 बजे खाना खा के बैठता था, and 10 hours I will study every day. So it was consistent 10 hours for, I will sleep at a certain time, have about 7-8 hours of sleep every night. And I think I must have had some, in the 6.5 months, I remember, जब मैं IFS का एग्जाम लिख के आया था, तब I had some anxious moments. Otherwise, I don't remember any anxious moments those 6.5 months. आराम से बैठ के तैयारी की थी मैंने. मुझे था कि हो गया बहुत अच्छा है, नहीं हो गया तो भी बहुत अच्छा है, कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. लेकिन अब अगर कमिट किया है, करना है तो कर लेते हैं. See, I did it because my father wanted me to do it and I made a commitment to him. I personally felt, मतलब I had a view that the bureaucracy in India was created by the British to serve British interests. So how can the bureaucracy serve the Indian people? This was a theoretical question I had in my mind to which nobody had any answer. किसी को भी पूछता था वो बोलते थे नहीं नहीं ऐसा ही है और कुछ है ही नहीं, यही है, इंडिया को यही चलाते हैं. मैंने वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन why is it that these people don't serve the people? Okay, that's the impression you get when you read the newspapers. So when I got through and I went for training, I remember that first day I met my first boss. Okay, so he asked me, अच्छा क्या about क्यों आए हो IAS में? मैंने बोला वैसे ही, my father asked me to come, so I have come. Anyway, सरकार कुछ करती तो है नहीं. So he started laughing. He says कि hopefully in the next 11 months we will be able to show you that government does many things. And in those 11 months he did manage to show me. I mean, for the first time, when I worked as an engineer before getting into the IAS, I used to be a one-man army. Like IIT Bombay में बहुत सारा काम मैंने किया यहाँ पे as computer center system admin, all the network in the hostel, all kinds of things I did. And I used to just do it solo. All the other system admins in the department, they didn't know what I was doing. Professor Shiv Kumar was the head. He says कि Ambrish, you can do whatever you want. So I took him on his words. And I used to revamp whole systems. एक पूरा रात बैठ के पूरा system revamp कर दिया, अगले दिन नया चीज चालू हो गया. So this is how I used to work. But when I came into the service, it was a completely different thing. You don't do anything yourself, literally. Everything somebody else has to do and you have to figure out how to make this person do that work. So it's a completely different thing from engineering. See, in engineering also you will work in teams. So let's say you have a team of 4 people with a team lead, but each person is doing certain intellectual activity. Whether you are designing a bridge or you are writing a software or whatever, there is a certain intellectual activity you are doing. So the interaction part with other human beings is just so that what you do and what the other person does is in sync. To that extent it is there. So it is very different in the civil services, where you are in a position where you have large number of people working under you. I mean, I have had organizations with 10,000 people reporting to me with budget of 5,000 crore rupees. अब वो 10,000 लोगों से 5,000 करोड़ रुपया खर्च करवाना है, so that 7 crore people of Rajasthan can get benefit. Okay, so it's in terms of scale, it's a totally different level of scale. And then if you aspire to give people quality at the end of the day, है ना? See, आपको today if you book a train ticket, you get a certain, make my trip पे जाके आप train ticket book कर सकते हो, IRCTC website पे जाके book कर सकते हो. There is a certain end customer quality which has come. It's there in banking, it's there in railways, it is there in airline. Many sectors in India have that quality. If you have the aspiration कि state government की service में same quality देना है, okay, it's a huge shift from where things are today and where you want it to go. So all that thing takes a lot of, it's a very different level of skill. है ना? Initially when I joined service, मेरा पहले मन में आता था ये आदमी जो बोल रहा है ये झूठ है सच है, झूठ है सच है, झूठ है सच है. I couldn't figure out कि वो झूठ बोल रहा है सच बोल रहा है. वो बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है. Okay, it took many years to realize that what people say is a mix of, it's half lie, half truth. And if you tell the guy he's lying, he'll get upset. So you have to figure out कि इसमें कितना झूठ है कितना सच है. Always they are like that. Whether it's a lawyer coming to you, whether it's a poor man coming to you, whether it's a rich man coming to you, they are all trying to tell you just that little thing so that you do their job. But you can't do their job without knowing the whole thing. So these are the kind of things which you learn in this. So coming back to the preparation thing which you asked, see, so 10 hours I did. I read the newspaper every day for 2 hours, and I had this thing ki once I have to go through the whole syllabus and once I have to revise it. So I had calculated itne din isme lagenge, itne din isme lagenge, and every day there was a syllabus printed on the wall. I would tick, acha ye ho gaya, ek topic khatam, ek topic khatam, ek topic khatam. And some topics which I was not comfortable with, I left those topics. करना ही नहीं है, छोड़ दो, है ना? तो I mean almost every subject it was very calculative, है ना? अगर आपके पेपर में इतने क्वेश्चन आ रहे हैं, आपको 5 क्वेश्चन का जवाब देना है. So if there are 12 questions and I have to answer 5, then I would prepare for 8 questions. 4 क्वेश्चन तो छोड़ देंगे, है ना? You don't have the time. There is no luxury to कि पूरा सिलेबस करके जाएंगे. You have limited brain capacity and you have limited time available. So who has the luxury कि I will understand everything and do everything? Maybe if you are JE rank 1, you can do it, but I didn't have that much brain power to do it. So I did very precise calculations बैठ के, and I would revise those calculations. Every 15 days I will sit again, look, अच्छा पिछले 15 दिन में ये प्लान किया था, इतना पढ़ाई हो गया, ये तो इतना तो मिस हो गया, अब क्या करना है, फिर से प्लान को रिवाइज करो. So that was a constant revision. And what I realized is that this is a very important skill to develop if you have to succeed in civil services itself, because you will be swamped with work, है ना? एक अगर आप जनरल स्टडीज की तैयारी करते हो, जनरल स्टडीज मीन्स everything under the sun and beyond the sun. So history, geography, economics, all kinds of stuff you are supposed to know, and volumes of it you have to read. And when you finish reading economics book, you feel like you understood it, but then you realize कि सब कुछ भूल गए, पढ़ लिया लेकिन कुछ भी याद नहीं है ना? हिस्ट्री किताब पढ़ते हो, पढ़ने के बाद लगता है फिर भूल गया, अब कुछ भी याद नहीं है. So when government files come, वो भी इतनी मोटी फाइल आती है ना? तो अब you don't have like 5 days luxury कि मैं इसको एक एक पेज को पढ़ूंगा, नोट्स बनाऊंगा, फिर उसको इंटरप्रेट करूंगा. You don't have that luxury. So you have, maybe first time you are looking at such a fat file, you may, because you are new to the job, they will give you a day. By the time you are few years into service, you have only 5 minutes to figure out what's in the fat file. Okay, so you learn over a period of time what is the pattern in this file, what pattern am I trying to recognize. The cliched phrase which is used is to separate the grain from the chaff. So you learn that art of separating the grain from the chaff. Over a period of time, you become so good at it that you almost become a terror for others. Matlab, you sit in the meeting, this guy starts talking, and after 5 minutes you tell him, अच्छा ये मत बोल यार, तू काम की बात बता मेरे को. You really begin to just by simply listening to people, you know what is sense, what is nonsense. You're just able to separate this after a few years of doing service. And when I was fresh into the service, I used to find it very odd. I used to like be in awe, कैसे कर रहा है यार ये बंदा? How is this man so quick? I mean, file पे file आ रहा है, he's just signing and throwing it, signing and throwing it. What does he even know? Then I will ask him, sir आपको पता है इसमें क्या है? He'll say, हाँ ये देखो. He'll throw a file at me. यही लिखा ना इसमें? हाँ सर यही लिखा है. So I used to wonder, how does this man do it? So it's a certain training. Like, you go through JE problem solving. So after finishing JE, if somebody brought a physics problem to you, कर दोगे. But when you started off, you will wonder कि अरे यार, how will I ever get through it? So the same situation is here, and the exam preparation is very good preparation for the actual content of the service that you have later on. So after I finished my mains exam, for interview, I didn't do any preparation. I went for a coaching institute in my hometown. There was a Masuri Academy prof who used to run that, retired guy. On the first day, he says, in the interview, they only test your approach to a problem. They are not interested in what solution you give. They are interested in how you approach the problem. Then I thought, you can't teach me that in 15 days. है ना? तो अच्छा है, whatever I have learned, I am already 29 years old, whatever I have learned in my life, only that is going to come out. I can't, have something else come out. So that was the only interview coaching I did. So for me, the biggest thing to stay relaxed was the yoga practices I did. Even before the interview, 1 week before that, I was sitting in a yoga program, because I realized the biggest thing in interview will be to stay relaxed. वो बंदा मेरे को टेंशन में लाएगा और मुझे रिलैक्स रहना है.
Yeah, so exactly. For all the aspirants, the common thing that they have is they do hard work, they have dedication, along with calmness and being relaxed while the preparation. And yes, the stories which Sir has told after joining the services are really interesting for the aspirants as well, and for, I think, Sir and Ma'am, for you both, as you have also joined the services just now. So Ma'am, as Naman Sir and Ambrish Sir both have mentioned their optional subjects which they chose. So optional subject is a thing which I think is very important when considered in the sense of results of UPSC also, and many students are like confused. Should they go with their interest while selecting the optional subject, or should they go with those subjects which are ranked as scoring or something? So what subject did you choose, and what would you advise the students to choose as an optional subject?
I have chosen mathematics as my optional, and that was because of my interest only. Because I have read civil engineering for around 6 years and also worked for 1.5 years. So I was literally fed up with civil engineering. And I didn't wanted to take any GS optional. Why? Because it will be the same thing. I was like 4 तो GS के पेपर देने ही हैं, 2 optional जो 2 पेपर होते हैं वो भी अगर GS के ले लूँगी तो it will be very boring. So that's what I selected mathematics. And choosing a optional, I would say that some optional are very scoring, some optionals are not scoring is, I think, is a myth, because ऐसा बिल्कुल भी नहीं है. There are optionals like history which was considered कि इसमें marks नहीं आते हैं, उसका civil services topper है इस बार. AIR1 is from history optional only. She has secured more than 300 marks. तो it is not like that कि इस optional में कम आते हैं और ज़्यादा आते हैं, ऐसा नहीं है. It is your answers, your preparation in that optional which makes difference. Because the thing is that it is in UPSC, it is not sure that whether you will clear this exam in first attempt or second attempt. Sometimes it takes more attempts also, because you have to give this exam for rank improvement also. So for that, this optional will be with you for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year likewise. So choose optional based on your interest as well as your competence. That I thought that I am competent in mathematics and also I am interested. I have interest, like if someone say that do mathematics for 2 hours, I can do that. So that should be the priority, not your marks, not like this optional is figuring well in the list likewise, because there are students from literature also. We have IAS sir who is from Manipuri literature. So likewise we have candidates from all optionals and they have done very well in that area. And also the selection of optional plays very important role. One, because it is generally seen around 2 or 3 years I have experienced that general studies marks are more or less average for selected candidate. It is 100 around in each subject. So likewise, this is the optional which create difference in your rank. So that is one part. And second, optional will be the static part. It will not be changed in whole your preparation. So according to that, optional should be selected. So I will go for interest as well as competence, not like past year performances, etc.
Yeah, that's true. Like we should go with the interest and we have to stay with that subject throughout the year while doing the preparation. So we should actually go with our interest. So Naman sir, I would like to ask, like as the examinations are very rigorous, so many students have some or the other backup plans with them while they start preparing for the examination. So did you have a backup plan with you?
With respect to the backup plan, it depends on your age, your financial background, your family background and so on. Some of the younger people, they might not have a backup plan in the very initial years or might need a backup plan in the later years of their life. Similarly, if somebody is from a poor financial background or has to support the family, then there needs to be a backup plan. So these are different parameters on which one chooses. For me, since I started preparing at a very early age, I also did not have any compulsions from the family. I did not thought of a backup plan in my first year of attempt. But in my second year of attempt, I realized that probably this paper is slightly unpredictable. You never know in which stage you could not qualify, or you might not get a very good rank. So for that, I had backup plans like Indian Forest Services in the RBI examination. So these were my backup plans. I would advise, if you are planning to give the examination, initially don't think so much of the backup plans, because if you have a backup plan, then you might deviate, or you might feel a slight laxity or relaxation in your preparation. But if you are not able to qualify for 3 to 4 years, then probably you should think of a suitable backup plan according to your own competency and your own background.
Yeah, that's correct. So, sir, just one question. Like, if you had not been selected for these examination, what would you go for?
There are other examinations which UPSC conducts. I already mentioned about the Indian Forest Services examination. I gave the examination for that and qualified the mains as well. I also thought of giving the RBI Grade B examination, so that was another backup plan for me. People try for MBA or joining back the private sector, but that again depends on what is your interest and competence.
Yeah, ma'am, you can also please answer this question, that which backup plan did you have in your mind while you were preparing for UPSC?
My backup plan was, when I left my job, my director said, you please come whenever you want. So that was my backup plan. But yes, true, there should be some backup plan, because this is one thing which is very uncertain. But it shouldn't be like कि यार इस जॉब का नोटिफिकेशन आ गया और हमने अप्लाई कर दिया. It should not be like that कि आप हर 6 महीने में you are changing your mind कि यार मैं इस सेक्टर में चले जाता हूँ या इस सेक्टर में चले जाता हूँ. Your friends will be, my friends were like कि they are getting huge packages by doing work from home in COVID. So I was like कि यार मैं भी वही कर लेती हूँ. It shouldn't be like that. You should be very stable in your mind that you want to do it. You will give your 100% till you don't get it. So this is better thing. Otherwise you will be diverted, I would say. And for backups, there should be strategy. Please decide which number of attempts you want to give. Like for me, it was 2 number of attempts, that I will give 2 number of attempts, and after that I will switch to some other thing, like going back to corporate was one of the option. And in these 2 attempts, I didn't see a single thing. I applied for Indian Forest Services because the prelims exam is same for both civil services and Indian Forest, but except that I didn't even try for any examination, because I was very sure that in these 2 attempts I will be 100% for UPSC. So that is one thing. And again, it depends on person to person, based on financial condition, based on the age factor also, ki what do you want to have, likewise.
Yeah, exactly. So while preparing for the UPSC, we should be like good in decision making. At the same time, we should be focused while we prepare. But yeah, we should have a backup plan ready with us. So Ambrish sir, I would like to ask you, like there are many myths in the surroundings about being an IAS officer or being a civil servant. Have you ever heard about such myths?
You tell me what myth you want me to. I've heard lots of them. Which one you want me to answer? Or
So anyone.
Or the audience can ask what is in top of their mind. So before we go there, I just wanted to say something about the unpredictability of the exam. See, many people say UPSC stands for Unpredictable Service Commission. Okay. So I would say that, see, UPSC exam is just like any other aspect of your life. It is just that it is an intense, focused effort for a certain amount of time with a very high dividend if you succeed. Right? It is not in any way different from other things you do. So the key thing is, what is the examiner asking you in the question? If your perception is clear about it, okay, and you are able to express the answer in a straightforward way about what he is asking, if you answer that, there is no way you can fail it. See, my brother also, he is a IIT Kanpur graduate. He gave 2 attempts. He didn't get through. Okay. When after his first attempt, when I saw his answers, I saw that he was doing almost like a PhD in the subject. Okay. He is going all over the place, saying all kinds of things. But he is not answering what the examiner is asking. So obviously he is not getting through. I mean, he is smart. He is a IIT Kanpur chemical engineer. So there is no issue with horsepower. But if I want to give him advice, he doesn't want to take it. He wants to do it in his own way. So I think if you want to do things in your own way, you should go and do research. Okay, research is all about your own expression. Okay, administration, your own expression will come later. Right now you want to clear the exam. So if whatever the guy is asking, just give him a straight answer. He will give you marks. There is no way. And if he says 200 words, please make it 200 words. You don't have the luxury of making it 300 words or 100 words. So how is this, why is the exam structured like this? Because the life after that is structured like that. See, this exam gets you into the service where there are huge expectations from you. You don't have the luxury of sitting and preparing and then taking decisions. You have to take decisions on the fly. So at that moment, whatever information you have, on the basis of that you need to do it. Even all the policies, which are written, they are written by somebody. So if you are sharp enough to figure out this is what is needed and this is what needs to be written, it will go a long way in this. And how do you develop that skill? I would say that the way to develop that skill would be you sit and write the answers, show it to somebody, show it to a successful candidate. That's the best way of doing it, because he definitely has some amount of that skill. That's why he became successful in the exam. So find some seniors who have gone through the exam, show your answers to that guy, take his view on that. If you want, take view from 2 or 3 different people. Okay, you will get a sense of what kind of variation is there. So if you ask me, I didn't do it because from childhood I was always somebody who used to predict my marks. If I write an exam and come back, at the end of it I'll say, मेरे को इतने number मिलेंगे. And I was always within 5% of that prediction. So this skill for me was developed over a long period of time, but I find that everybody doesn't have it. So if you develop this skill, it will go a long way in clearing this exam. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really a very important skill to just know what you have done and remove the uncertainties as much as possible while you attempt the examination. So Naman sir, coming to you, and as we are heading towards the end of the interview, the last question which I would like to ask you is that the seats that we are having in the civil services now are decreasing. So what do you think is the future of civil services in India? And how would you like to put it in front of the students who are preparing or who are the aspirants currently?
As per my knowledge, the seats have decreased over the past 4-5 years or so. But again, if you see the notification for the current year, 2022 civil services examination, the seats have increased from 700 to over 1,000 or around 1,100. So the seats are not to be absolutely decreasing. New services like IRMS have been included this time, and the seats have increased. But with respect to the future of civil services, I think civil services is one arena which will remain till the government is there. Government cannot function without an IAS officer. Law and order cannot be maintained without an IPS officer. Income tax and other revenue cannot be collected without an IRS officer. And a country cannot have a foreign representative if it does not have a diplomat. So these are the 4 major services I am talking about. And till the time there is government, there will be bureaucracy, there will be civil services, there will be civil servants to work, and there will be administrative work required. As the country develops, for example, India is developing at a rapid pace, the requirements of the citizens would increase. Now you would see that UPI is penetrating. You would have all observed CoWIN portal, vaccination of COVID-19, DigiLocker. All of these are governance initiatives. And with time, the service delivery requirements of citizens, they increase. And as as many people become aware of their rights, their duties, they will demand more from the government. And to fulfill their requirements, it's the civil servants who have to come up. So in no way I can think of requirement of IAS officers or other civil servants to go down. But I think Ambrish sir would be better able to help us in this.
I mean, I agree with him entirely that I don't think you have to worry about seats going up and down. That's a trend. Like in my time, there were totally 90 seats in the IAS and about 60 in the IPS. I think now there are about 180 in the IAS. So seats have gone up from my time. So I don't think seats going down should be a big concern for anybody. See, the way to look at it is, each one of you only wants one seat, no? ठीक है ना? तो जब तक एक भी सीट है आपको मिल सकती है. और considering the size of the country and the growing population, जितनी सीट अभी है उतनी तो रहने ही वाली है. आपको उसमें से अपने लिए एक सीट चाहिए बस. That's all you want. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many seats are there. So if you just look at it like that, it's very simple. You want to talk about the myths? What myth was there?
It would be better if you. I guess we should take up. Yeah, exactly.
Hello.
Yeah, so I don't know if it is considered a myth or not, but the thing is, most of the students lose their motivation to work towards ISS, like they have to work under uneducated or people who have like less education than us, like the politicians. So how would you clear that? Like, what should be our motivation to go on and not like hear that?
Popular question, huh? Okay. So, one thing is that politicians being uneducated is a thing of the past. Okay. Most MLAs and ministers these days are graduates, postgraduates, and professional degree holders. So, that them being uneducated is no longer true. It used to be true once upon a time. But just because a man is educated doesn't mean he has sense. Right? So, if that person has reached that position through a process which is much more chaotic and competitive than civil services, okay, to become an MLA is, have you seen a book saying how to become an MLA? I have not come across. I'm looking for one. I want to make the shift from IAS to MLA if I find the book. But there is no coaching institute, there is no book which tells you how to become the chief minister of a state. I'm yet to come across interview of a chief minister where he goes on stage and tells, chief minister बनना है ना भैया ये 10 step है ये कर लो. ठीक है? I don't see it. So if the guy has come means there is something in the person, right? He is not installed by somebody. He has come through his own effort. So to think that those guys are, in any way less than you is a misunderstanding. They are not less than you. They are different than you. They are definitely different than you. They have a pulse of what people want. They understand people much better than bureaucrats understand. And they are the ones who drive things in the nation. Whatever you see, most of it is a political decision at some stage or the other. Okay? So somebody has a vision to say कि दिल्ली मेट्रो बनाओ. तो एक श्रीधरन जी को मौका मिला दिल्ली मेट्रो बनाने का. श्रीधरन ने नहीं बोला कि दिल्ली मेट्रो बनेगा. Right? It is some politician who decided. So clearly there are people out there who are politicians who have the clarity to say कि देश में ये होना चाहिए.
Yeah, so I think that sir has answered your question. So now I would request anyone from the audience, if you have any question from sir, you can. Yeah.
Hello. So, sir, if we look at the way our country is growing right now, there are a lot of processes happening at was at the same time. So yeah, we are growing at an extremely fast pace. So what do you think should be changed, or what recommendations do you have for changes in the bureaucracy of this country? I mean, no system is perfect, right?
See, to talk about something, it's like having a discussion on what should be done so that India can win the, what should I say? We want to win the Hockey World Cup. Okay, so let's have a discussion on it. It's like that, in that sense. I don't play hockey, but let's say I play table tennis. So you ask me, ki, why didn't you tell me how India can win the table tennis World Cup? I don't know. The simple answer is I don't know. I am not good enough in table tennis to reach that level to say ki how should India produce gold medals. And so if you talk about bureaucracy as a whole, right? I am not the cabinet secretary. I am not the chief secretary. Neither I am the chief minister of a state, nor I am the prime minister of the country, right? So I am not in any of these positions to give this answer. So I will say that these are what is known as audience questions. मतलब आप क्रिकेट मैच देखने जाते हो, ठीक है, आप तो नहीं खेलते हो, अब विराट कोहली आज आउट क्यों हो गया उसके ऊपर डिस्कशन हो सकता है, ठीक है ना. अब विराट कोहली का फॉर्म आजकल खराब क्यों चल रहा है, उसको कैप्टन की सीट से क्यों हटा दिया गया, has he done better than Dhoni or is he doing worse than Dhoni? This is a kind of discussion. So I would say that a more realistic thing would be if it pertains to your own life. See, the question would be, if you join the civil services, can you make a difference? Yes, definitely you can make a difference. No two ways about it. I can tell you that very emphatically from my own experience of having been in the bureaucracy, that I have made a difference in every single posting that I have been on. I have revamped systems, I have created new systems, I have made things much easier for common people by sitting in that position. So that is possible.
Yeah, so it can be we who can bring changes rather than just having a discussion on what can be done.
See, every IAS officer, they say every IAS officer is an institution in himself, right? So there is somebody here who is director of animal husbandry for state of Bihar, right? I was commissioner of land records in Rajasthan. So that department, when I joined, many people thought that department had closed down long time ago. So many seniors said, "Acha, wo department abhi bhi exist karta hai." Oh, okay. And then we looked at the land records, and I said, I want to have the entire land records available in a mobile app. I want to computerize the whole thing. I went and met a very senior person who is right now Secretary in Government of India. At that time, he was chairman of the Revenue Board. He says, "Ambrish, NIC has been trying to do this for last 20 years. What difference can you make?" I said, "Sir, within 6 months, I think we can do it." And in 6 months' time, we did it. There was an IIT Bombay alumnus, electrical engineering graduate, who runs a software company. He and I, we sat down, we used to have long meetings, 8-hour meetings. You know, kya karna hai, I would say these things. He will go and do the design of the whole thing. And we built the system, and the system is functional. You can download on your mobile and see. There is an app called Dhara. Entire Rajasthan's land records are available in a very easy to use interface. For that, there was a lot of background work we did. So I used to hold a video conference with 10,000 people in the field. Think of, you are talking to 10,000 people spread across 33 districts of Rajasthan, and they used to connect from 300 different locations. So there was a video conferencing setup, and in every Tehsil office, 30-40 of them will sit on in a video conferencing room, and I used to talk from Jaipur, and we used to give them work, and we used to monitor their work. And each of those 10,000 people did work in that. Okay, every single one of them. Work happened in every village of Rajasthan. And we got this whole system kick-started in a matter of 6 months. Almost 50% of the data was available on the mobile app. They updated records which had not been updated since independence. You know, all these maps and land records were originally made in the 1930s and 1940s. So all those things, they were scanned, they were digitized, they were updated, and by these 10,000 people. It's hard to even, you know, what I'm saying, it's even very difficult for me to imagine. But that is the kind of opportunity was there in a department which was considered as a punishment posting. They had actually punished me. They were not happy with my work in the earlier department. So they said, Acha, we'll dump you here. I had the best time there. It was the most satisfying posting of my career because we could do all these things which I could not do as the district magistrate of 4 districts. I always wanted to see if anybody from a rural area, you know that there is a land parcel which belongs to your grandfather, right? Grandfather passed away long time ago. Then your father had 4 brothers. So 5 of their names are not in the records. If names are there, it is not demarcated on the map whose land, which land belongs to whom. So this work we got done in entire Rajasthan, every single village. We used some IT tools. We used one IIT Bombay engineer who was the mastermind. He had a team of 15-20 people. None of them were IIT graduates. Only one guy did it. Okay. And we could do this. I think it's a significant amount of work. I mean, like this in various departments, I did various things. I will not go into all that. I just wanted to give you as an example of what is possible for each one of you. What is possible for each one of you if you join the service and you have the desire to make a difference. Right? I could have gone and said, nahi, mujhe settlement commissioner laga diya. He said, I am settlement commissioner. I am no longer settlement commissioner. I got transferred out almost 2.5 years ago from that post. But, I mean, almost everybody before me had cried and said, ki saab mujhe yahan se hata do. I don't want to be here. Okay. You know, my office was in an old railway, Maharaja Jaipur का एक railway station होता था, private railway station. तो वहाँ पे office था. Most people in Jaipur don't know where the office is. So, but the work we did was phenomenal. You know, it was the most satisfying work of my career. It has, every village in Rajasthan has an impact. 10,000 patwaris, ILRs, everybody knows, tehsildars. I mean, the entire bureaucracy of Rajasthan knows that we did something like this because they were all involved. And we did it using a video conferencing solution provided by Cisco to Rajasthan government. So हमारा VC book ही रहता था. Every third day we had a fixed slot, 3-hour VC with the people, and everybody had the freedom to ask questions. You know? So I would say that I will not shut down this VC until everybody's questions are answered. And people asked, see, mostly 10,000 people में कितने question आएंगे? Question तो common ही है because they all do the same work. So after you have answered about 10 questions and nothing repeats, they will become quiet after that.
Yeah, so exactly. It doesn't depend on what the work we get or where the place we get. If we are determined enough to bring a change, that's what is important, I think. So anybody else in the audience? Give to that guy.
Also, hello. Yeah. Also, I would like to just tell you कि इसके बाद हमारा personalized interaction भी होगा सबके साथ. So अगर किसी को ऐसा लग रहा है कि उनका question छूट जाएगा तो ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. So उसका टेंशन मत लो. सबको चांस मिलेगा क्वेश्चन पूछने का. यहाँ नहीं तो एज अ पर्सनली यू कैन आस्क. सो जस्ट रिलैक्स, सबको मौका मिलेगा.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I would like to ask, what are your views on, nowadays I read news about the bureaucrats favoring the politicians on making some decision, and the politicians are also favoring the bureaucrats to higher positions so that they can have favored decisions in them, like using central what else, ED, like that, authorities to target some other politicians. So what are your views on that?
There are two parts to this question. See, if you have a team of people, you definitely want that team to work as you want, right? You want a team which doesn't do what you want, does their own thing. Would you want such a team? Would anybody want such a team which doesn't do what the boss wants? Definitely you want a team which does what you want, right? So where is the question of a bureaucrat favoring a politician? Politician is the boss, bureaucrat is the advisor, bureaucrat has to do what the minister wants. That's the system, man. That's what is written in the Constitution of India. Okay. That is the design of the system. So definitely, if the railway minister says, I want, the trains to be clean, toilets to be clean, they will do it. Okay, that's what they are supposed to do. Now, when you are talking about favoring, see, if you are talking about corruption, yes, there is corruption. Okay. So let's say the minister says कि भाई ये जो लेडी आई हैं ये आप ये वाला कॉन्ट्रैक्ट इनको दे दीजिए. It is possible that some ministers may say that, right? So there are two ways of looking at it. One way is she competent to do the job, right? So especially in software, I'll tell you, this is a very real thing. आप में से कितने लोगों ने खुद से कोड लिखा है? हाथ खड़ा करो. Okay. Large number of people. So you will have some idea of what I'm talking about. If you write code, can somebody else maintain your code? How easy is it to get somebody else to maintain your code? Very difficult, right? Okay. So if I want to hire any of you to write code for me, who will I hire? Right? Shall I put out an ad in the newspaper? I want an IITian coder. Okay. And in an interview process, do you think I can figure out who will be a good fit for me? Can I figure out? Very difficult. Very challenging. So let's say I have a good rapport with you and I think you are a good coder. And I know that there may be another guy who's also maybe from your class, but I don't have good rapport with that guy. So I'd much rather prefer कि यार तू आजा, तू बना दे, मुझे पता है तू बना देगा, मेरे को काम होने से मतलब है, right? Why will I go out and say no, ये तो टेंडर से होना चाहिए काम? Okay, that we will give out a bid, and the guy who quotes the lowest amount, that guy will write software. Such softwares don't work. Okay, so how do you choose the right person for the right job? It's a unsolved problem in government as far as IT goes, because there is a huge difference in people's capabilities. It's not the same. See, if it's a standardized work like, let's say, making of road, now there are at least 20 contractors available who can make a similar quality of road, for whom I have the background I know. I will do a bid and I will give it to one of the guys. But still, it's a what should I say? एक operations research करके एक subject होता है ना, OR. हाँ? I don't remember much, but my memory of OR is, it's a real life problem solving. You have these constraints and you want to come out with an optimal solution. So these are your constraints. You have to follow the government process of doing a bidding, and you want a competent person, and you want work done, and there is only a fixed amount of time. So all these are the constraints. So how do you do it? It's not easy. अखबार में लिखना बहुत आसान है कि भैया ये इसने इसको फेवर कर दिया, उसने फेवर कर दिया. See, my first software project we did in Ajmer. So I'll tell you how I did it. I found one guy, BITS Pilani graduate, who ran a company. तो उसको मैंने बोला कि आप सॉफ्टवेयर बनाएंगे? बोलता हम बना देंगे. तो मैंने बोला ठीक है, I will give you the contract, but I cannot give him the contract straight away. So I got him to write a requirement document, right? Software requirement document. और वो रिक्वायरमेंट डॉक्यूमेंट लिख के हमने उस पर बिड कर दिया. His bid came lowest because he is the one who wrote the requirement document. So he understands कि मुझे क्या काम करना है. Other people who don't understand, they quoted higher price. So this guy quoted lower price, so I gave the work to him. And that work happened and the system is still running since 2007. Okay. Now I'll give you another example. In Ganganagar, for arms license, I wanted the software done. We wrote the requirement document, we did the same bidding process, but somebody else quoted 1/4 the price than this guy quoted. Okay, जिससे काम करवाना था वो IIT बॉम्बे का बंदा था, उसकी प्राइस से दूसरे बंदे ने 1/4 पे कोट कर दिया. Now I can't do anything. I have to give that guy job to that guy. That work never happened. Okay, वो आज तक नहीं बना वो सॉफ्टवेयर. So you have a limited amount of time. You have these constraints. How do you do it? Okay, that is why the bright people are needed. Okay, so that you get the work done. Still, nobody should be able to point fingers at you. है ना? So these are real life situations. About actual corruption, yes, there is. So I'll give you an example. When I was in social welfare department, we had 700 hostels, and my minister said the ration quality which goes to hostels is poor, so we should do centralized procurement. So people came and told me कि सर इन्होंने ना एक ठेकेदार के साथ सेटिंग की हुई है, वो उसी को बुलाएंगे, उसी को दिलवाएंगे. So as per rules it was allowed. We did it through another government organization to whom we could give an order without tender. But उसके पीछे की setting वो थी कि उस बंदे को जाएगा. So initially for a month I didn't do it. Then I got a written order saying this has to be done. So we gave that order to that guy, and after first month when I went to take feedback in the field, instead of close up toothpaste he had given clean up toothpaste. मैंने कहा clean up तो कोई brand ही नहीं होता toothpaste का, ये कहाँ से लाया? So I realized that the quality of material supplied was not good enough. I called that contractor. I said, why are you doing this? He says, साहब इतना ही पैसा दे रहे हो, यही मिलेगा, इसमें और नहीं मिल सकता. Then I thought, okay, let me do my own homework. So I got hold of another a wholesaler in Jaipur wholesale market. उसको मैंने बोला कि मुझे ये 20 आइटम खरीदना है. And I went with him and we went to 10 different wholesalers and got rates. अच्छा 50 ग्राम क्लोजअप टूथपेस्ट का क्या रेट है? ये है. अच्छा क्लोजअप की बजाय अगर कोलगेट लेंगे तो ये रेट है. अच्छा आपको आटा लेना है तो ये वाला आटा इसका ये रेट है, बेसन लेना है तो ये रेट है. ऐसे करके हमने पूरा उसका एक रेट लिस्ट बनाया. एंड एज पर माई एनालिसिस दैट कॉन्ट्रैक्टर स्टिल हैड अ 20% प्रॉफिट मार्जिन फ्रॉम होलसेल रेट्स. ऑफ कोर्स ही हैड टू डू ट्रांसपोर्टेशन, ऑल दैट, ऑल दोस थिंग्स वी पुट, स्टिल ही वाज अर्निंग 15% मार्जिन. So then what we did was we gave him an order where we specified three brands of each item. Okay. Now this solution is not given in any textbook. It is not given on YouTube. It is not given anywhere. Okay. So is it fair? Is it sensible? Did we favor close-up over Colgate? No. We gave 3 brand options. No, why didn't you give Sensodyne? Or why didn't you give Vico Vajradanti? Somebody can always ask that question. Okay, especially if the order value had gone into 1,000 crores, Vico Vajradanti would have probably filed a PIL. Okay, if it was only for toothpaste, maybe they would have done that. See, I had a certain limited amount of time. I wanted to have reasonable amount of fairness. And what was available in the market, from that I specified. So if that had happened, I would have written or equivalent brand. Okay. So these are simple, very simple problem, very simple solution. But when you do the solution, so when we managed to do it, next month, the buzz in the market was that the quality of stuff being supplied to hostels is better than what people eat in their homes. Okay. So that's what we managed to achieve from a situation. Now, did the minister take money from the contractor? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Okay. I have no way of knowing. I cannot put CCTV cameras in minister's home. I cannot put वो जो क्या दिखाते हैं वो bug होता है ना, वो सब, that's not my job, right? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. I don't know. Is there a profit margin for the contractor? Yes, for every contractor there is a profit margin. Everywhere in the world, nobody does work for a loss. So, did I favor the minister? I don't know. You have to answer the question. Was it a favor to the minister or did we solve a real problem?
Yeah, so according to me, we did solve a real problem. But it did solve our problem. If it is for good, so we can go with what the minister said.
That's why all these frames are required.
Yeah.
So you can find a win-win-win solution.
Yeah.
All the stakeholders happy with it. Then the solution will fly.
Yeah, so this was the last question which we can have from our audience. After this, we will have a personalized session wherein you can come and ask to sir, ma'am or anyone about your questions. And over now, I hand over to Anirudh for further. They are there, yeah.
This brings us to the end of this insightful and wonderful discussion. On behalf of everyone present, I would like to thank you for coming and lighting the lamp of service and humanity in each and every one of us. And this concludes the first session for this evening, and now we can move to the foyer for student alumni meet, where you can interact one-to-one with our distinguished IAS and IPS officers who have graduated from IIT Bombay. So I would like to request you, sir, to please move on to the foyer.